Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Grizzlies Coaches Show. This week we're sitting down with head coach and GM Coach Veen. We're going to talk about last week's performance in Granite City and the upcoming challenge that we have this weekend at the Rec Center against the St. Louis Junior Blues on Friday and Saturday. How are we doing today, Tyler?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How's practice this week? How's everything going?
It's been good so far. Another good week leading up to the weekend series against the Junior Blues. So hopefully we're ready to rock and roll.
For sure. So I asked Brandon this last week. First half of the season done with. We head into the second half and chase for the playoffs. Obviously, we wanted the first half to go a little better. But what can you take from the first half and apply it to the second half and go into it with guns a-blazing?
Yeah, I think biggest thing is when you look at first half of seasons, you want to be in the highest position possible you can, right, in the division. But at the end of the day, as long as you're in contention, you're sitting fine, right? We put ourselves in a spot where we're going to contend here down the stretch, obviously hoping to fight for a playoff spot. We're in the playoff hunt right now, but I think just continuing to stack up good days that we've had here in the second half and put ourselves in contention to climb up in the standings, whether it's with the third seed, second seed, potentially even first. Obviously, you just want to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, 1 week at a time, and just see how the rest shakes out. We're in a tough division. I'd say it's a tough division in the league right now with the top four teams, St. Louis, Peoria. They're winning games right now too. I mean, the parity throughout our division is outmatched, I feel like. Obviously, you look at the West Division too, any team can win there, but our division, it's truly any given night, any given team is going to take home the W, and St. Louis is showing that with taking West Bend to 4 straight overtime games, shootout games, and winning one of those too. So it's going to be no slouch of a weekend. We're going to have to come ready to play against those guys.
Cool. So you mentioned the West Division. Saw a familiar rival this past Sunday. Traveled up to Sauk Rapids, took on the Lumberjacks. Unfortunately, fell 4-3. What can you take from that performance and apply it to this weekend?
Yeah, I think it was good for us to get in a game like that, and obviously we want to come out with a win, right? But I thought we played well enough to win that hockey game. We scored 2 power play goals. It was good to see our power play get some success finally. We've been struggling with that throughout the year. You look at it's a 4-3 game, right? I mean, their 4th goal, it hits off a Dub's blocker, then off his skate and in. It's like they get the bounce. It's no disrespect to them by any means, right? They find ways to get the bounces when it matters most for those guys. It's a tough place to play up there. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of respect for those guys, and it's frustrating not getting the win, right? But when you look at it, okay, we played well enough. That's something we can kind of leapfrog off of as we continue to push on the second half here. And it's frustrating for us as a coaching staff. We've now lost 10 straight to those guys. Yeah. So it's more so of like we want to get one against those guys, but at the end of the day, use it as a stepping stool, learn from it, and hopefully we can get them when it matters most down at the end of the year.
All right, so you mentioned St. Louis coming to town this weekend. They have been giving teams a fit all year, taking obviously West Bend to those 4 overtime games and taking one of them. What do you kind of say in the locker room and preach to the boys all week and get them prepared to kind of get the 4 points this weekend?
Well, I think it's just getting their minds locked into where it's not going to just be a slouch weekend, right? It's just because they have 30 points in the standing or whatever they have and we have 40 doesn't mean anything. Yeah. You know, they're playing good hockey. They take West Bend, a very good hockey team, to overtime, right? That obviously they lost it, but still they're playing good hockey right now. They play well within their structure. It's not what it was a couple of years ago. You know, Matt Ocello, I got a lot of respect for him. Scott Sanderson, they're doing a great job down there in St. Louis, bringing up those guys. They're a very young team, but they're very hungry, they're fast, they play well within their structure, and they're going to come ready to play. It's going to be a dogfight. They're not just going to hand it to us. We're going to have to go out there and earn it, and it's exciting to see them have the success right now, to be honest with you. I know they were through the struggle bus there for a couple of years, and just talking with Matt over the past couple of years, he likes what's going on there. It's cool to see them turn that around, and it's definitely going to be a good series this weekend. We got to show up and play. If we don't, they're going to take it to us too. So it's good to be in this position where every game matters for us. So then hopefully come playoff time, we're ready to rock and roll.
Yep. Sure. Well, speaking of playoffs, I got one question left for you. And you know how much you're going to like this question. What did you think of the Vikings' performance on Monday and just performance in the season and reflect on it? I know you're a huge Vikings fan.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little disappointed. I was sad, right? But at the end of the day, when you win 14 games with Sam Darnold as your QB in a year where you're not expected to win a whole lot, yeah, it sucks in that aspect, but you get into the playoffs, and hopefully that now J.J. McCarthy's going to be the quarterback, so kind of was writing on the wall. I think that's a blessing in disguise, but frustrating that the Vikings go home again in the playoffs. Minnesota sports. Just can't find a way, but we'll be back. We got enough heart and soul.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Jacob.
All right, on the second half of today's Coach Show, we're going to be joined by a special guest. Hasn't been on the show this year yet. It's going to be our equipment manager, Carl.
Your body is designed to function at its best, but daily stress, poor posture, and even minor injuries can disrupt your health. At Thrive Wellness, we focus on restoring balance and alignment so you can live pain-free and perform at your peak. Chiropractic care is a natural, effective approach to improving mobility, reducing discomfort, and enhancing overall wellness. Don't wait for pain to hold you back. Call 507-258-4100 or visit thrivewellness.com today to schedule your consultation. Experience the benefits of a properly aligned body because optimal health starts with a healthy spine.
All right, Grizzlies fans, on the second half of today's Coach's Show, we are joined by a special guest, our equipment manager, Carl Hawkinson. How are you doing today, Carl?
I'm doing great, Jacob. How about you?
I'm doing good. Been trying to get you on this show all year, and you finally agreed to do it. So let's just jump into it. Tell us a little about yourself, and tell us how you got to the Grizzlies and how you kind of got into hockey.
All right. Started playing hockey when I was probably 4, skating outside, then playing youth hockey. Moved out to Pine Island. I kind of got more into football than hockey. Put a little more time into that. Went out into the work world. Worked construction for 30 years. Needed a change of pace. Started working at sports headquarters. You and I talked. I bugged Jacob 3-4 times, and then Tyler came in. And I talked to him, and we kind of clicked right away. And it's just been a fun ride since then.
Yeah, for sure. So, like you said, in your second season with the team, just kind of tell us about your weekly routine that you kind of developed over last year and into this year, and what that looks like going into game days, as well as kind of away game days.
Okay. The week, a lot of, little fixing on equipment. Skates, a lot of skate sharpenings, just making sure all their equipment is, ready for them, in good shape. A lot of laundry, getting all the jerseys done. After game weekends, we get a lot to do, so there's a little catch up Monday, Tuesday. Then game days, I get all the stuff ready and in one area. I've got the boys dialed in now where I get them, they load everything up on the bus for me. We get to the rink, unload, get set up. We've been to the rinks several times now, so we've got a system down there. We know our spots. Boom, we're set up. I'm ready to go. And then we just click right along.
Cool.
It's pretty smooth running at this point.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite part about working for the Grizzlies?
Definitely getting to know each of the guys. All the guys that come through here, great young men. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed it. I like being involved in hockey. I've coached. Now doing this, it's just another part of it. I've enjoyed it.
Cool. So what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season then?
We're starting to click as a team. Just got to keep building momentum. Push to the end. Hopefully there's big things to come. Hopefully it's a long season yet. That would be the ultimate goal, win a national championship. I would be very fulfilling, very rewarding.
Oh, no doubt. All right, so let's move into kind of rapid fire questions. I know you've kind of sat in on a couple of these interviews. And watched the boys do it, watched the coaches do it, laughed at them while they're doing it, so now you're in the hot seat.
I sit in the background and heckle them a little bit while we're doing these.
What's your pregame meal or your favorite food if you don't have one of those?
The 26 at Jersey Mike's. That's been my go-to now for
right to it.
Exactly a while.
I love it.
So, Jersey Mike's.
All right, when you're not working for the Grizzlies, what are you doing?
Like I said, I'm at sports headquarters. Worked there. Ron and the fellas there, great group to work with. Love seeing all the youth hockey players that come in, building relationships with them, see them out, and at Grizzly games, they're all coming up waving. They know they come to me for broken sticks
Everyone
or pucks. Everybody seems to know me, and we have a good time.
All right.
So otherwise, hanging out with my kids, Caleb, Jaden, Olivia, Been doing the sports with them, motocross,
Love that.
all kinds of stuff.
Cool. Tell us about this thrifting hobby you have.
I have an extensive collection problem with concert shirts, band memorabilia, music memorabilia, vinyl records.
Okay.
It's into the thousands, so
Okay.
it's impressive.
All right. So this question is actually from a fan, and that fan is actually my girlfriend, Johanna.
Okay.
She wants to know what your favorite color is.
All right. We'll tell JoJo blue is typically my favorite color.
Okay.
Otherwise, I kind of bleed maroon and gold.
Okay. All right. Who's your favorite athlete?
I'm going to say Neil Broughton, Wayne Gretzky, and then Herb Brooks.
Okay.
Huge 1980 Olympics fan.
Big Gopher guy.
So-
I think I'm going to know the answer to this next
Big
question.
Gopher guy.
If you could equipment manage for any team in the world, who would it be?
Easily, it would be the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Figured that. All right. Who's the funniest guy in the locker room? It could be this year or last year. Who's the funniest that you've seen?
Last year, Klotz and Sawicki had a sketch that they would come into the equipment room and do. It was funny. Then this year, Connor Gocklin and his DJing pregame ritual cracks me up. Baylor Stebbins chasing Care Bears through the woods.
God.
Chasing them out of our woods. That one's, it's got to be up there this year.
God. All right. And then do you have a locker room story that you can tell that I cannot stress this enough is PG?
There are a lot, just kind of some of the mannerisms and just the characters that we have in the locker room are just funny every day. The stories that I get told, I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here listening to you guys. We've had players have to call their dad and check in about themselves, and that one's a well-known one amongst all the guys and us. And that Kale calling his dad is one of the funniest ones.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, this was actually really fun. I'm glad we finally got you on the show.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Cool. Well, Grizzlies fans, this weekend the team takes on St. Louis Junior Blues as they come to town Friday and Saturday, 7:05 here at the Rec Center. You can go online and get your tickets. You can skip the line, not wait outside or in the lobby, and
Too
go
cold.
right by them. Tickets.rochestergrizz.com. Buy your tickets online and come see us on Friday and Saturday. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great weekend. Go Grizz.
Go Grizz.